The US dollar. It's the currency of the United States, of course. But it's much more than that. The US dollar is a symbol of economic stability and trust. It's the lifeblood of the global economy, facilitating international trade and investment. A currency that transcends borders and connects nations. It serves as a common language in the world of finance. When the US decides to print more dollars, the impact is felt far beyond American shores. This decision can influence global inflation rates and economic policies. It sets off a chain reaction, a ripple effect that touches every corner of the world. Financial markets react and economies adjust. From the bustling streets of Tokyo to the vibrant markets of Lagos, the value of the dollar matters. Businesses rely on it for transactions, governments trade with it to stabilize their economies, and individuals measure their wealth against it. The dollar's strength or weakness can affect savings, investments, and purchasing power. The US, in many ways, holds the reins of the global financial system. The Federal Reserve's policies can influence interest rates worldwide, but this power comes with responsibility. A responsibility to understand that decisions made in Washington, D.C. resonate across continents. World leaders often look to the US for economic guidance. When the US sneezes, the world catches a cold. Economic downturns in America can lead to recessions elsewhere. And when the US prints money, the world feels the tremors. The global financial landscape shifts and everyone must adapt to the new reality. The Trump administration ushered in an era of significant change in US fiscal policy. This period marked a departure from previous economic strategies, focusing on stimulating growth through aggressive fiscal measures. Tax cuts, particularly for corporations, were a cornerstone of their economic agenda. These cuts were designed to incentivize business investments, aiming to boost job creation and economic activity across various sectors. These cuts, along with increased government spending, led to a surge in the US deficit. The administration believed that the short-term increase in the deficit would be offset by long-term economic growth and higher tax revenues. To finance this deficit, the US had to borrow more money, issuing more treasury bonds. This borrowing strategy was seen as a necessary step to maintain government operations and fund new initiatives. This increase in borrowing, coupled with the Federal Reserve's decision to keep interest rates low, injected a significant amount of liquidity into the global financial system. The low interest rates were intended to encourage borrowing and investment, further stimulating economic growth. While these policies aimed to stimulate economic growth in the US, they also had unintended consequences globally. The influx of capital into the market affected international trade dynamics and economic stability in other countries. The influx of US dollars into the global system put downward pressure on the value of the dollar, making US exports more competitive, but also raising concerns about inflation in other countries. This complex interplay of fiscal policies and global economic reactions highlighted the interconnected nature of modern economies. Then came the COVID-19 pandemic, an unprecedented global crisis that brought the world to a standstill. The US, like many other nations, faced a devastating economic downturn. Businesses shuttered, unemployment soared, and the financial markets teetered on the brink. In response, the US government unleashed an unprecedented wave of fiscal stimulus. Trillions of dollars were injected into the economy through a combination of direct payments to individuals, loans to businesses, and expanded unemployment benefits. The scale of this stimulus was staggering, dwarfing even the measures taken during the 2008 financial crisis. While these actions were necessary to prevent a complete economic collapse, they further exacerbated the global consequences of US monetary policy. To understand the ripple effect of US monetary policy, we need to delve into the unique role of the US dollar. The dollar's influence extends far beyond American borders, impacting economies and financial systems worldwide. For decades, the dollar has reigned supreme as the world's reserve currency. This status isn't just a title, it signifies the dollar's critical role in global trade, finance, and investment. This means that central banks around the world hold significant reserves of US dollars. But why the dollar and not another currency like the euro or yen? It's a matter of trust, stability, and the sheer size and depth of the US economy. The US dollar is backed by the world's largest economy, which provides a level of confidence unmatched by other currencies. The US has the largest and most liquid financial markets in the world, making the dollar a safe haven asset for investors seeking stability. This liquidity means that large sums of money can be moved in and out of dollar-denominated assets with ease. This dominance of the dollar gives the US significant influence over the global financial system. Decisions made by the Federal Reserve can send ripples through international markets, affecting everything from interest rates to commodity prices. When the US prints more dollars, it affects the value of these reserves held by other countries, potentially leading to currency fluctuations and economic instability. This interconnectedness underscores the importance of the dollar in maintaining global economic balance. Section 5. Emerging markets, feeling the pressure of US dollar fluctuations. Emerging markets, with their developing economies and often fragile financial systems, are particularly vulnerable to the ripple effects of US monetary policy. Fluctuations in the value of the US dollar can have a profound impact on their economies. When the US dollar weakens, it makes imports more expensive for emerging markets, potentially fueling inflation. On the other hand, a stronger dollar can make it more difficult for these countries to repay their dollar-denominated debts, leading to financial instability. This delicate balance highlights the challenges facing emerging markets in a world so heavily reliant on the US dollar. Their economic fortunes are often tied to decisions made thousands of miles away in Washington, D.C. Section 6. Global inflation, how US monetary policy fuels the fire. Inflation, the insidious rise in the general price level of goods and services, is a global phenomenon. While many factors contribute to inflation, US monetary policy plays a significant role. When the US prints more dollars, it increases the global supply of money. This increase in money supply without a corresponding increase in the supply of goods and services can lead to inflation. This inflationary pressure is often felt most acutely in countries that import goods from the US. As the dollar weakens, the cost of these imports rises, leading to higher prices for consumers. Section 7. A world intertwined, the ripple effect of US financial decisions. The global financial system is a complex web of interconnectedness. Decisions made in one part of the world can have far-reaching consequences, and this is particularly true for the US when the US, with its dominant currency and influential financial markets, enacts policies that affect the value and supply of dollars. The ripple effect is felt across the globe. From currency fluctuations to inflation to the cost of borrowing, the actions of the US have profound implications for businesses, investors, and individuals worldwide. Section 8. Seeking alternatives. Can we reduce global reliance on the US dollar? The outsized influence of the US dollar in the global financial system has sparked debate about the need for a more diversified system, one less reliant on a single currency. Some argue that a basket of currencies, perhaps including the euro, the Chinese yuan, and the Japanese yen, could provide greater stability and reduce the vulnerability of the global economy to US monetary policy. However, transitioning to a new system would be a complex and challenging undertaking. The dollar's dominance is deeply entrenched, and any shift would require significant coordination and cooperation among nations. Section 9. Conclusion. Understanding our interconnected financial world. The US dollar. It's more than just a piece of paper. It's a symbol of American economic might, a global reserve currency that underpins the world's financial system. But this power comes with responsibility. The decisions made in Washington, D.C., the policies enacted, and the money printed have consequences that extend far beyond American borders. It's a reminder that we live in an interconnected world, A world where the actions of one nation, particularly a nation as influential as the US, can have a profound impact on the lives of people across the globe.